Now, our next guest is a true double threat, having shown his talent for singing and acting.
He shared the screen with Jackie Chan and the stage with the Wolf Tones, and now he's joining us on the couch. We are so sorry to you, Niall McNamee. How are you doing?
I'm very well. How are you?
It's lovely
Great
to have you here.
with
We
us.
were actually just talking about names.
Yeah.
Because Niall McNamee, normal name to us.
Yeah.
You moved to England when you were 17.
Yeah.
Did they have a bit of trouble with the name?
There was talk of maybe I should change it because it's too Irish, like you might get typecast. And then I was like, I won't. And then I was cast in the IRA 5
You're
times. You know, it was like, I'm delighted to be in this film, but can I take the balaclava off, please, just so people can see me face? And also, they wanted to change it as well to something, and I was like, what? And they said, mother's maiden name, and I was like, Niall O'Connor's not going to help the situation.
It's still very Irish.
Yeah, but no, I'm glad I kept with it. Yeah.
I'm glad you kept
Well
with it
done
as well.
as well.
And we get to see your face today. That's very nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's good. Like, well, this is it, getting to go over to England and getting these opportunities and stuff as well. So we've been teasing it all morning. One of your first roles was Pierce Brosnan, but Jackie Chan as well.
That was wild.
It sounds a bit wild. What was it like?
So I did an audition, and it was so, like, most of the time with stuff that's that big, they don't tell you what it's about. So I didn't know when I was auditioning what it was for, and then I was waiting on something else, and my agent called me up and said, you didn't get that thing. And I was like, damn it. She went, but you did get this. And she read over the script over the phone of me fighting Jackie Chan. It took me 5 times to really go, Jackie Chan, you know? And she was like, I was on the building sites at the time, so she was like, you're going to have to tell your foreman that you're not coming in tomorrow because you're getting collected to go to the gym with Jackie Chan for 2 weeks to fight with his stunt team and learn how to do all that. I'd never been on screen before, so it was wild.
What is that? Because we all know that he choreographed, that he's so in depth with his fights and his stunt team.
Yeah,
What's that like?
It was pretty wild. Yeah, it's kind of scary because you want to get it right and you don't want to be, you know, I didn't want to. We had stunt people, but I was like, I want to make sure, like, I'm in this, and he beat the everything out of me.
Have you done any fighting?
Yeah. Had you lied in your
Not
CV?
on screen, you know.
No, but like, had you done any boxing? Like, did you lie on your CV and kind of go martial arts?
You would be surprised that they didn't even ask, you know. But
they just love Niall McNamee. They love the name.
Yeah, but speaking of the difference between like English audiences and Irish audiences, in England they were like, "Wow, you fought Jackie Chan! Wow, that looked amazing!" All that. All my Irish mates were going, "Why didn't you duck her?" I didn't decide. I didn't decide how the fight went. They were kind of going, you lost. And it's Jackie Chan, and it's a film.
It's a movie.
You know? Yeah.
Now, we get to see you in this because The Foreigner, I remember watching The Foreigner. Again, it is a Northern Irish-based movie. The IRA are involved.
That's right.
Hugely Irish cast. Charlie Murphy's inside it. Pierce Brosnan's in it. Like, there's a pile of people in it. Pierce Brosnan. So much chat about his accent at the minute in Mobland. An Irish fella who can't do an Irish accent. How was he on because he was Irish in The Foreigner. He was Northern Irish in The Foreigner.
He was, there's a bit of a Jerry Adams twist.
There was, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Is he cool?
Yeah. He was so lovely. He's a real gent. Like, you hope they are, you know, because you come on set and I was going, it will change things if I meet him. He's the first star I've met and he's not very nice. He was lovely, of course. And actually we both ended up at Twickenham for the Ireland-England and the Six Nations at the same time. We came from that to the rap party. And I turned up in my scarf and I thought to myself, people were saying you shouldn't be wearing that. And then he turned up with a scarf as well. And I was like,
Oh, you shouldn't be wearing that on a film about the IRA who are murdering people. Right, I get that.
How cool.
It's unreal.
But with all this, you had said to your foreman to get the day off. You were one of these jobbing actors working on the sites in London. No, I'm fighting Jackie. Jackie Chan. They didn't believe.
Well, I didn't realise how long it took. Because obviously after the film, I was like, well, this money will run out eventually. So I better just go back and start working. And then I realised I was on site and I could tell they were introducing, if a new lad came on the site, they'd be like, there's John, there's Jimmy, that's Niall. He thinks he's fought Jackie Chan, he's harmless, leave him. And I didn't know how long. It took 3 years to come out, I think. And I was just the weirdo on set who had fought Jackie Chan. Oh, and Jackie Chan versus the IRA, is it? Yeah, gotcha. That's a film. Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah, sure.
The glamour, though, of going from that to probably back to sight again. The life of a jobbing actors, it's difficult. You know, it's not, you know, when you come home, people probably think, your man, he's been all these movies, starring, going to the premiere with Pierce Brosnan at the Six Nations.
Yeah, you definitely get the dust off you before you get on the flight, you know.
You get brought back down to earth a bit at home, but it's not an easy one, I'd say, as glamorous as people maybe see it.
No, certainly not at the start, but, you know, what are you going to do? Like, I mean, you especially when you're starting out, it doesn't matter. I love working on the building sites because it's a great part of my story. I mean, albeit when I went to London, I was a bit in I had a Christy Moore version of it in my head, and I thought we'd all be on this.
All be together.
I thought we'd be on a big girder eating sandwiches.
With
That was New York in the 40s, Niall, not now. And so there were a few lads who were going, "What are you doing here? We don't do this anymore."
Well, you've done something
on your own.
Calm down.
There's a couple of bosses going, lads,
dude.
Yeah.
Move
you can
on.
work as a banker in the city if you want.
Fast forward, you have been like we're going to get to the music in just a minute, but you've been working away on both. You know, the double threat sort of a thing. And we've been talking to Trevor Burney. We've been talking to a few people involved in the movie Saipan.
Yeah.
So we have got Steve Coogan, who is playing Mick McCarthy, and we've got Éanna Hardwick, who's going to be playing Roy Keane.
Yeah.
You're playing Alan Kelly.
The very man.
You
I
are
can see
goalie,
it.
yeah.
Goalie,
Yeah, listen, when I grew up, I thought that's the role I want to play.
That's the one.
Is it the old yellow jersey? Was it?
No, that would be more Packy Bonner.
wasn't it?
Yeah. It was the
green?
black jersey.
The black jersey. Right.
Come here, getting the call that you're going to be in Saipan, that movie.
I'd had inside information that I knew Éanna was playing Ryan. I've known Éanna for ages, he's a good pal, and you know I was delighted to be on something with him. And then knowing Steve Coogan was in it.
Lads.
The only problem is I talk to my friends in Alan Partridge all the time. I'm such a huge fan of his. And there was a moment where I was in goal and someone hit a screamer past me and I went, "Did you see that? He's got a foot like a traction it." And then I went, I didn't even think about it. I would have done that whether he was there or not. And I was like, I just went so red. But it's just like it's you know, I'm such a big soccer fan and like so to be in that. If I'd seen it coming out and I wasn't involved, you know.
Were you Team Roy or were you Team Mick?
Do you know what? We're talking about a film with the IRA and Jackie Chan, and that is the scariest question I've ever been asked.
I know.
I was thinking about this because I was very young, but it's like one of my first memories of soccer.
Same,
And I think it depends. I think like if you're a Man United fan, a lot of them are Roy. If you're from Cork, a lot of them are Roy. I'm named after Niall Quinn, which would put me on one side, and I'm also a Leeds fan. So I was very much probably towards, that's right. So I was I think I was brainwashed to one side. But it's such a, you know, there's two sides to it, isn't there?
You're the third Leeds fan I know, and the second one is sitting beside me.
We're like rats, you're never far
And
away.
she's going to marry the other one.
And then there's...
look, they're all around.
Marching on all of us together.
I cannot wait to see this movie. There's so much chat about it. It's going to be Alan Kelly. Have you chatted to him?
Alan Kelly, actually, I did chat to him. Andy Reid, who I know a tiny bit, put me on to him, and he ended up bringing his whole family to my gig in Manchester last year, and we're well in touch now.
Oh my God, that's so lovely.
Yeah. No, he's a real gent, you know.
Class.
Like yourself, speaking of gigs.
Well, we can't wait for that. Speaking of gigs, of course, your new single as well. It's called Another Life.
Another Life, yeah.
Got a new album coming out as well.
Yes, yeah. My first is coming out in October. Yeah.
That's exciting.
It's terrifying. I've worked so hard on it. I do find in music, it's, you know, acting seems a doddle in comparison. In some ways, music, it's very much your own thing. When you're acting, you know, you get told you get the part, and then you're driven somewhere and paid, and then you're looked after. But in music, it's so your own thing. And yes, it took 2 years, and I'm so excited. You know,
And how is it? Because I know that you have been gigging a lot.
Yeah.
Like a huge amount.
Yeah.
How has the reception been going out there playing your own songs?
Do you know what? I've been lucky enough that it's always seemed to go down well. The songs are all stories pretty much. Someone said, oh, there we are.
There you are.
Someone told me the other day it's a bit of a mixture generally between Lewis Capaldi and the Pogues, and I will take that.
Oh, wow.
I love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been going well. Last week was mad. I counted by the time I finished my last gig on I think it was Sunday or whatever. No, on Tuesday, that I'd played for 24 hours of 7 days.
Oh my God.
So I'm just gigging as much as possible. And
there's some buzz from that though. Do you mean like acting? It's very obviously scripted. It's very stop and start, whatever else. There's nothing like playing in front of a live audience.
No, there's not. But the scary thing is, and I realised that because I see them as totally different. Really, there's very, you know, there is crossovers at points. But the thing about music is you're totally yourself, and when you're acting, you're just someone else. And I'm very very proud of it.
Because you're writing songs, you're doing this, you're working for other people. I know you've worked on scores for films that you've been in as well, but. Often people, as you said, they compared you to a cross between Lewis Capaldi and the Pogues. But you were told when you were like, when people were going to see you, come here, do you know who you're like? You got to tell the English who you're like.
Yeah, there was someone who I was going for a meeting with a music manager for the first time, and I'm always terrified, but I never know what to say. I put my foot in it all the time. And my mate said, when you go, they ask you the same questions. Your job is to know the answers before they ask it. And I was like, okay. They said, who do you think, you've got to know, they're going to say, who do you think you're the new version of? Who are the Irish version of? Who are the young version of? I said, I don't know. He said, you should say you're like a young David Gray. And I was like, a young Irish David Gray. And I was like, all right. And I listened to a bit of David Gray and I went, all right, cool, I'll do that. So I went in and I was nervous. I didn't need to be. They were lovely, throwing free drink down my neck. And actually, it was just like being welcome to the family. And then at about 2 a.m, when I could barely walk, the question came up and they said, so who would you say you're similar to? And I was like, I've been thinking about this, and actually, I've been thinking I'm very much like a young Irish Craig David. And he was like, what? And I was like, no, I wasn't sure either, but then I was listening to him. And I think that's what I am. And so somewhere there's a music manager who thinks that I think what I do is like a young Irish David Gray. And the tragedy is we'll never know what that would be like.
Exactly, I'd love to.
Can you give me 7 days a week until now?
Exactly.
Straight to 7 days.
That's class. Yeah. But sure, listen, the things that you do at 2 o'clock in the morning, no one remembers, so
look,
we hope.
It was fine. But look, we're going on tour in October to December across Ireland.
Go on, tell me quickly about performing with the Wolf Tones.
Oh, that was wild, yeah.
Unbelievable.
That was
20,000 people.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say there was quite 20,000 people when we were starting out. There was a few, but no, it was unbelievable. It's the Wolf Tones, do you know what I mean? Yeah. When I first started out, my manager was like, let's write a list. What do you want to do? Even if it's as silly as, do you want to go to space one day? How do we get there? And I said, I want to support the Wolf Tones. And,
wow.
And it came really quickly, and I was buzzing about that. So we got a few fans off that, and it's contributed to the tour for October.
God, they're unbelievable. Amazing. So Niall's new single, Another Life, it's out on Friday. It's fab. It's just you just sing along and really enjoy it. Tickets are available for the Ireland, and of course you're doing a UK tour, but you're going to be all around Ireland. Yeah. And details are at niallmcnamee.com, and you can find them all over the place. Niall, it's been an absolute pleasure having you, and thank you so much.
You'll come back. Success.
You'll come back in the jersey, will you?
I will.
Come back in the jersey.